Okay guys, so let's move on to the next step, and the next step is to glue the Sidetracks on and on there. So we've already put this on, we pretty much did this after I cleaned it up and washed it, and so we're ready to put the Sidetracks on, and we'll put this front piece on as well. So here we are, nice and easy. They literally slip in like that. What we're going to do is we're going to press down on them as well when we glue them in, so we get a nice gap between that and the main body. Okay, so let's get some glue on there then. So for this I'm just going to be using super glue, which is Vital Bond CA thick, and I tend to use the thick because it's a slow pourer, which means it doesn't go all over the place. You can control where you want it. It comes in 3 different variants basically: fast, medium and slow pour. So we put our glue on there. I've been quite liberal with it. I'm just going to use activator, which is Vital Bond. I'm just going to see what we can get out of that. There we go. Takes a bit of time, but it gets there. Okay, and then that goes in like that. I just want to make sure we've got nice. There we go. So there we go, that's separated, so we can see a nice gap there all the way around, which is what we want. And that is stuck in place. Okay, we're going to do the same with the other side. We're just going to spray activator on it. I mean, some people pin these, but I just find this works just as well. We're going to pour in our super glue into there. Like so, be quite liberal with it because we want it to hold. And we're going to do the same again, because just spin that around. Like so, and we pull down it because we want a gap between the track and the main body. Like so, nice and easy. Okay, next step. Putting on this front section, so we'll just dry fit it first. And that's where it should go. And that hides that rather nasty little gap at the bottom. But first of all, before we do that, look at that difficult, I can't get it off now. Before we do that, we're just going to take our pinning drill. And it's always good to have a little bit of some little tools nearby. We're just going to take our pinning drill and let's focus in on that bit there. See that little hole? We're going to drill that out. So let's get that done. Here we go. We're going to do the same on the other side. Just let the pinning drill slide through. Just give it a bit of a yank. And if that's not good for you, take a find it, sorry about this gentlemen. Just going to take our file and we're just going to let that twist in the inside of it, like so. Just get that like that. Same on that side. Just take away any crap that's in there. Okay. And now it's time to put our glue on it. We have to be quick with this one because this will dry quite quickly. So we've got a little spot to get it into as well. we go. So literally just squeeze that into there. If you've got any excess glue, just take a wet cotton bud, just wipe that away, give that a bit of a squirt, and that'll hold it in place. So that's coming on nicely. Okay, so there's the main body done. So we've got the tracks on, and we've got the front of the bar on there as well. Okay, so we're going to work on the back now, and we're going to take our exhausts, which are these two pieces, and they slot into the back here. So we'll just dry fit it first of all, just to make sure that we've got what we want. Okay, that's pretty good. I go just there, and the other one goes next to it. So we've got to keep these tight up next to the side from what I can see in the image. Okay, so we're going to glue these on now. And same again, we're just going to spray it with activator. And we're going to tape our super glue. And we're just going to run it along the edge there, and along that edge, and in the centre. So we've got glue there, there, and there. Okay, let's get that on. And that'll fit in. Just about. Just about there, which is perfect. Okay, let's get the other one in. And we're going to do the same with the other one. Put the glue on. So you can see we put the glue on there and there. And we're going to just get that into play, which goes pretty much right next to it. Let's just get it so it's at the right level. Okay, so that's those two pieces in place. That's fantastic. It's a nice and easy kit to build, this one. It shouldn't cause any problems whatsoever. Okay, so that's those two pieces in place. Next step is to look at our side sponsons. Oh, sorry, not the camera there. Okay, so side sponsons. This is going to be a little bit different because we've got to decide what kind of weapons that we want to stick on it. Now I'm opting for heavy bolters on this one because I need something that's going to have a bit of a punch, and the old heavy bolter is kind of cool for that. Let's just make sure we can get it to fit in. So we might have to do a bit of work here. Get that in as tight as possible, and this fits on the side, and if you match it up, it's literally goes in there. So that's where our side sponsors are going to be sitting. What I've got to do is make sure that they fit into the hole properly. It may even go on that side. Yeah, there we go. So that one fits on that side there. So if you want to know, look at the door handle, and the hatch handle should be aiming downwards. And that fits in lovely on there. Okay, so but before we do that, we need to just sand down some areas. Give that a good push out. There we go. So I'm just going to take my blade and I'm just going to take off a little bit off here. I'll just move that back so you can see what I'm doing. just going to clean up this bit here with my blade. And the same on the other side. And just going to make sure that this area here is clear of any crap. I'm going to slot that back in again. Take a little bit more off there. There we go. That's better, it pops in better. And it's got some movement in there as well. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that we don't get any glue actually on the drum. And what we're going to do is we're just going to put a dab that side, a dab up there, follow that round, and we'll just spray there with our activator. Notice I'm not pinning this at all on this model, and what we're going to do is we're going to have to be quick to find our holes. Make sure that our sponson's on nice and straight. Okay, that's cool. Here we go. So that's one side sponson done. Okay, on to the next one. And again, we're just going to make sure quickly that it fits into play. This one's a little bit easier, this rolls a bit better. Okay, and that one goes on the other side, like so. Okay, just like that. So we're going to do the same again, spraying our activator, and we're going to take our super glue, we're going to put a little bit on there, we're going to follow that all the way around. Little dab just at the top there. Just take my cotton bud and move the glue away from it. There we go. Okay. And then we're just going to size it up. And that'll just slot in just like that. So that's how easy this is to put together. Just slots in. So we're already starting to get the basic form put in there. Now we're going to save the guns to a little bit later. That moves, and that moves as well. Okay, so we won't put the guns in straight away, we'll save them till later. It's a bit of detailing that we need to add in there. Then we need to look at things like the interiors, and we also need to look at the side pieces. So on the side pieces we've got these tracks here. Now ideally they should fit into play along the side, so let's just have a look at what it says. We're trying to get rid of as much as possible. So the things we're going to be putting on are these bits here, and we're going to put on the mud guards as well, and the hatch maybe a little bit later. But let's start off with these bits first. Right, so that just fits onto there like that, literally on there. So let's get our glue, let's put it on our track. Just let that liberally drop over it like that. Okay, we're just going to spray the side. I tend to use a lot of activator on all my models. Even on the plastic ones, I don't like using plastic glue because it melts the model, and if I want to change something later, super glue tends to break off on a nice even break. And plus with that, if you soak it, it will come off like in Dettol and stuff like that. Okay, so go, it's looking good. Looking forward to using this against Hazard Syndrome and his Chaos and Heretics army in Brax. See what I can take out. I think his goal is to get quite a few Malcadors as well in his army. You can't blame him for that, can you really? Okay, so I'm just going to put this one to the side for a moment because I think that's just a spare. Okay, so that is looking smooth. Can I use that word smooth? Is that a good word to use? Yeah, okay, I'm going to use the word smooth. It's looking smooth. Okay, next step is to work out what we want to do. Flaps. That's the next step. If I'm not too coherent, it's very early in the morning. It's about 5 AM here in the greater UK, and that's where they go, just like that, nice and simple. So we're going to take our super glue again. And we're just going to run that on there. So far this has taken about 17 minutes to start putting together. And so that's not bad to get the basic of the model put together. And you know, it's always best to just study the diagrams, work out where everything goes. You're going to make mistakes, I always do, but it's not going to hamper you in any way. The best bit is once the model's completed, you can work out how you're going to do your colour scheme. That's really exciting. Okay, so we're literally coming towards the end of this and getting this bit done here. There we go. Let's just give that a bit of a blast. Okay, so there's some mud flaps on, and we're almost getting there. Right, next piece is this piece here. Now we're not going to put that on, we're just going to make sure it fits first of all, and then there we go, that's brilliant, because we're going to want to paint in the detail inside there. Now also we're stuck with this dilemma here as well. If we stick on the sides and stuff and stick in the gun, we can't paint this. So what I might do is put on one side, which is going to be this section here, and we'll stick on this section as well. And what that will allow us to do is later, gives us a chance to paint all of that before we stick on the side piece and the big gun. So let's get these two pieces on. Let's just get our glue ready. I'll just liberally let that go on. Oh, it's raining outside quite heavily, which is always good. Not if you've got to go to work or if you're working outside today. I do feel for you. Just need to make sure that's all in place. Oh. It's in place on the outside as well. Okay, that's about right. So let's give that a good old squirt. Because it's liquid, it'll find its way into the gaps and it'll hold what we need in place. Okay, so that's nice and straight. That's actually very good. Okay, so the next section is this bit here, which just fits in there like that. Which is again very cool. It kind of does remind you of the Medusa and the tank with the Earthshaker cannon built into it. It's got that feel about it, but with a massive, great big plasma cannon, which is pretty cool. just goes in there like so. And just check, make sure that's a bit straighter. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so this is where our guy's going to be standing just here, checking the controls. So you can't really see him at the moment, but he'll be standing right there, like that, checking our controls. And we've swapped him over for the other Mini, which was this one, because it's a Acadian, and that's not what we're after. Okay, so we know that our chair fits in here like that, so we can actually get that into place. And by doing that, we're just going to put a bit, actually just before we do that, I'm just going to take away a bit of this crap off it, just smooth that down using our blade. Okay, so this is the chair where the servitor sits in. That fits into here like so, and it's facing this direction, away from the main gun. And we're just going to put in some glue on the bottom of there, and there, and there. Now, ideally, it'd be great if we had done this all painted up before we put in, but you know, we can get away with some murder on this model. Okay, so that's where our servitor sits. We've also got to think about what we want to do painting wise. So we're not gonna glue him in there. So we're just going to put this to the side for the second, and we're going to take our big gun, which is this, and we know that this bit fits in just about there. So we're looking at that going onto there basically, and then we know that through the diagram this bit kind of fits in just like that, allowing us to see a third or a half of the targeting array that's fitted onto the front. I think that's what it is. I could just be making that stuff up, but that's what we've got now. Ideally, it would be better to put all this together once we've painted the gun. So that's what we're going to do, because there's some fantastic bits in there, and not only that, we've got this section in here, and I'd rather not glue this into place until this is all painted, or even not have this glued into place so I can take it off so you can always see the inside, because it'd be kind of nice to have, like, you know, that section open. Maybe have it like that so it looks like someone's working in the inside of it as well. So I may glue it like this and put a little bar up so it looks like, you know, we can get in there. So we'll see what happens with that. So the next step for me is to get our little servitor glued together, and then we're going to paint him separately as well. So we're just going to take his tiny little arms. So we've got one arm there. Literally find the other one. There you are. Okay, and we're going to glue him into play. So again, super glue on there, and then we're going to take his arms, which I believe this one goes on here like so. God, that rain's really heavy out there. I feel for people that are out there today. And we're going to put another bit of super glue just on there. I'm going to quickly take this, put that there. I mean, this, if you can see this, I'm just going to focus it up for you, I do apologise. Is that not a cool servitor?